Well, guys, at the start of the story, we see the conductor, Takaichi, who used to work as a conductor on the Japan bullet train. And today, he was telling some students who had come for an industrial visit about the technology, advantages, achievements, and history of Japan's bullet train. Then, all the children are seated on a train named Hayabusa 60 and taken for a tour. A politician named Kanga was also traveling on this train. Just then, a famous influencer and writer traveling on that train bumped into a man wearing a mask, causing his phone to fall. The politician's husband picked up the writer's phone, gave it to him, and said hello. Then, a child saw the politician and told her mother, Mom, the sugar mommy politician is sitting on the seat behind us. Hearing this, the politician starts hiding her face. Now we are shown the driver of Hayabusa 60, who was a woman. She checked all the signals very carefully and then moved the train forward. This train was going to Tokyo and was scheduled to stop at all intermediate stations along the way. Just then, a call came into the headquarters of this Japanese railway company in which a man said that he had planted a bomb on Hayabusa 60. As soon as the train's speed drops below 100, the bomb will explode. But everyone present in the headquarters thinks it's a prank call. However, just then, there is a blast in a freight train. After this, the general manager, running towards the headquarters, tells his team that this case is exactly like the 109 bomber case. Then he called Commander Kasagi in the control room and told him everything. After this, the commander told all his staff to evacuate all the stations on Hayabusa 60's route and stop the trains. Then he called the train driver and told her to listen carefully to what he was saying. There is a bomb on the train you are driving. If the train's speed drops below 100, there will be a blast on the train. Therefore, the train should not stop at any station. Then he told the driver to immediately turn off the ATC, automatic train control, and take the train at a speed of 120 kilometers per hour. The commander assures the driver that they will find a solution to this problem. After this, the driver first reduces the train's speed and then disables the ATC. By the way, ATC means Automatic Train Control System, which automatically applies brakes on the train when a station arrives. After this, the commander also informs conductor Takaichi about everything. He says that this information should not reach the passengers. The teacher of the students traveling on the train was repeatedly looking at one of her students, Yuzuki. Just then, the conductor made an announcement on the mic telling everyone that due to some technical issue, this train will not stop at the upcoming stations. Meanwhile, the commander started the process of stopping all trains on Hayabusa 60's route and evacuating people from the stations. But the general manager and the special team were worried that the automatic train control system might automatically enable when the station gets closer, because if that happened, it would stop the train and then there would be a blast in the train. But that doesn't happen. As an intermediate station arrives, the train passes the station without slowing down. Just then, a call comes to the headquarters. The call was from the terrorist. He said that if you want me to defuse the bomb on Hayabusa 60, then in return I need 100 billion yen. The general manager replied that this is too much. How can we arrange so much money so quickly? The terrorist explained that if every person in Japan gives just 1,000 yen, the money can be arranged immediately. And it is necessary that every person in Japan gives the money. Just then, the Prime Minister's special advisor also reached the headquarters. Upon arrival, he told everyone that we do not negotiate with terrorists. Then he ordered them to inform all the passengers that there is a bomb on their train. The commander objected, saying that if this is done, there will be a stampede throughout the train. The advisor got angry at the commander's objection. Then he told the commander to do as he was told, saying, I will make all the decisions here. The train will reach Tokyo in 5.5 hours. I am doing this so that the passengers on the train can help us in defusing the bomb. The commander told this to the junior conductor and said that if he has said so, he must have thought it through. After this, he announced that their train, Hayabusa 60, has a bomb planted on it. This creates a tense atmosphere throughout the train. Some people started arguing with the conductor. Just then, the politician's husband tells her that this is a good opportunity to divert people's attention from the scandal and get into the limelight. After this, she came forward and asked everyone to calm down. At this, a man tells her, Hey, sugar mommy, mind your own business. This leads to a fight between the politician and him. But the conductor calms everyone down and requests them to go and sit in their seats. Meanwhile, the chief minister said that we do not make any compromises with terrorists. This is against our policy because it encourages other terrorists. After this, the terrorist calls the headquarters again. He said, "What nonsense are you guys talking about in the news? If the money is not arranged quickly, there will be a blast in the train. And don't forget, I need 1,000 yen from every person in Japan." Just then, the Prime Minister's advisor tried to talk to him, saying that it's not possible to do all this so quickly, but he cut the call. Then, suddenly, all the news servers were hacked, and a video of a bomb being planted on Hayabusa 60 started playing on all news channels. There was also a voice-over in the video in which the terrorist was telling everyone that the price to defuse the bomb is 100 billion yen, and this money will be given by every single person in Japan. Seeing this video, there was a stampede all over the train. Everyone was scared except for the man in the mask and Yuzuki. It was as if they didn't care. Just then, a new challenge came up for the commander. Actually, a train on Hayabusa 60's route had broken down. There was very little time, so the commander decides that they will quickly clear another track and shift Hayabusa 60 to the other track so that it doesn't collide with the other train. But there was another train on the second track as well, and now it had to come back before Hayabusa 60 arrived on that track. That's why the commander tells the driver to bring the speed down to exactly 102 so that the other train can pass easily. The driver brings the speed to 102, but when the driver changed the track, their train had a slight collision with the other train, but they were safe and moved forward. After this, the commander asked the driver to increase the speed back to 120. Then, that writer takes the mic from the conductor and announces to all the passengers that the government is not helping us. So now we have to help ourselves. For this, I have created a website where we will collect donations and then we will give that money to the terrorist, which will save our lives. After this, everyone starts putting money into his account. Everyone on the train starts making reels and requesting people to put money on the writer's website. Now we are shown the special investigation team. They found out that a similar case had also happened in 1975. The only difference between then and now was the amount of money. Meanwhile, the writer was giving his interview to some news channels. The news anchor told him that you are violating government policies, and people are saying that you have also stolen collection money. The writer says that he has kept an open account of all the money on the website. If anyone doubts him, they can go and check. He also appealed to continue the donation. After this, the politician comes to the writer and tells him that any decision taken without thinking can prove dangerous for us. But the writer tells her, "You are a parliament member, aren't you? Why don't you help us raise funds with your power?" But she doesn't agree. Just then, some children sitting on the train recognize the man in the mask. His name was Goto. Those children tell him that people have recognized you from our reels. They want you to die in this train accident. That's why many have refused to donate because of you. Actually, Goto was a pilot, and 9 children had died in his helicopter crash. That's why those boys and Goto started fighting. After this, the conductor comes and separates them. But Goto got so angry at the boys' actions that he wanted to die now. Because after that accident, people had started troubling him a lot. That's why he asked Yuzuki to press the emergency button. And she went and pressed the button. Everyone got scared, but the train doesn't stop because in such a case, the driver first gets a notification and then only the driver can stop the train. Then Yuzuki asked the conductor, "How do you feel after saving the person because of whom everyone's life is in danger?" He replies that it is our job to keep everyone safe. On the other hand, the commander makes a plan in which they will shift all the passengers to the front coaches and then half of the train's coaches will be separated from the train. Then a rescue train will come from behind and connect to Hayabusa 60, after which they will transfer all the passengers and crew to the rescue train and then separate it from Hayabusa again and leave from there. This will slow down Hayabusa's speed and it will blast and all the passengers' lives will be saved. This seemed possible because the train's speed would be 120, so the chances of the coaches separating would also be higher. But it was just as deadly. The commander called the conductor to explain his plan. When the passengers heard about it, they were very happy. The conductor, along with an electrician and some staff, started to separate half of the train's coaches. They disconnected all the wires. Then they opened the train's floor and removed the bolt connecting two carriages. This was too difficult for the conductor to do alone, so an electrician on board helped him. Once the bolt was open, half of the train's coaches were detached. As soon as this half of the train separated, its speed dropped and it exploded. However, the front part of the train, with the engine, kept its speed. No one was hurt because all passengers had already been moved to the front section. After this, another train, named 5060B, was sent from behind on Hayabusa 60's track for a rescue. Half of this rescue train's coach was already open. It was brought up to a speed of 120 km/h, and a footplate was attached to connect it to Hayabusa 60. For passenger safety, wire railings were also installed between the two trains. The rescue team then began moving passengers one by one from the Hayabusa to the rescue train. But suddenly, Hayabusa 60's automatic train control system activated and the brakes were applied. The speed started to decrease and the rescue train collided with the Hayabusa. The driver quickly manually increased the speed again, but the connecting bridge between the trains broke, trapping some people on the Hayabusa 60. In this accident, conductor Fuji was badly injured. Now, only 9 people remained on the troubled train. At headquarters, the commander reported that 340 people had been saved, but 9 were still trapped. Hearing this, the Prime Minister's advisor was very pleased. He said they just needed one more rescue operation. However, a female commander informed them they didn't have enough time for another similar rescue, as the train was about to reach Tokyo. Yuzuki then went to another coach to call her parents. She called her dad and said, "Dad, I'm on Hayabusa 60." Yuzuki's dad replied, "My child, these are the same people I dealt with before. They're doing this for revenge. Don't worry, I'll find and handle each one of them." Meanwhile, at headquarters, the Prime Minister's advisor argued that if the explosion happened at Tokyo Station, Japan would suffer a massive loss. He suggested stopping the train before it reached Tokyo, even if it meant sacrificing the 9 people on board. The commander, furious at this suggestion, almost attacked the advisor. The commander then came up with a new plan. They would install a new track to allow Hayabusa 60 to pass Tokyo Station without stopping. Back on the phone, Yuzuki's dad was vowing to find and kill those dogs, just as he claimed he'd killed people before. Yuzuki then shockingly revealed, "You can't kill the terrorist because I am the terrorist. I planted the bomb on this train." She explained she was tired of his false stories and knew he hadn't killed the previous bomber. The bomber had taken his own life. Her dad yelled in disbelief. Yuzuki said she was fed up and had decided to end everything. She then told her dad to turn around. As he did, Yuzuki remotely detonated a bomb, blowing up her house with her dad inside. Afterward, she stood before the remaining people on the train and called the headquarters. She announced, "I planted the bomb on the bullet train and I just killed my father with a similar bomb. If you want to defuse the train's bomb, you have to kill me." The general manager asked why she was doing this and why she killed her father if she wanted money. Yuzuki replied she had seen what she needed to see. She wanted to see humanity, but found no true loyalty. If they cared, they would have paid by now. To defuse the bomb, kill me. I have a heart monitoring device. If I die, the computer won't monitor my heart, and a signal will be sent to an app to defuse the bomb. She then hung up. A man then informed the general manager that Officer Tsutomu, who supposedly killed the Case 109 bomber, Yuzuki's father, had himself been killed by a bomb. Yuzuki's teacher was now terrified of her. Everyone wondered who would kill Yuzuki. The writer suggested to the pilot that since he had killed 9 people before, killing Yuzuki now would save 9 lives and redeem him. When the pilot refused, the writer turned to the politician, implying leaders weren't afraid to get their hands dirty. This led to a fight, which the conductor broke up. A man then told the general manager the truth. Stomu hadn't killed the Case 109 terrorists, they had blown themselves up. Officials had covered up their failure and praised Stomu to gain fame. The general manager realized a lone schoolgirl couldn't have made and monitored so many bombs. Meanwhile, near Tokyo Station, work on a track extraction had started, so the train could pass without stopping. Elsewhere, an officer, after hacking Yuzuki's Instagram, found a contact with whom Yuzuki discussed bomb making. They identified him as Masatoshi, a blaster in a mining field, and arrested him. On the train, conductor Fuji fainted from blood loss. The other conductor pleaded with Yuzuki to stop the train for Fuji, saying, "He's a good person." Yuzuki coldly replied, "Then you'll have to kill me. Do it quickly." But the conductor couldn't bring himself to do it. At headquarters, the Prime Minister cancelled the commander's second plan, the new track, because it wouldn't be ready in time. They were ordered to stop the train before Tokyo Station. This news was heartbreaking for everyone. The commander, with a heavy heart, informed the train conductor they would soon order the train to stop. The conductor then went to Yuzuki and started choking her, but then hugged her, crying, unable to go through with it. Yuzuki also wept, overwhelmed. Masatoshi, via video call, told the general manager that Yuzuki wasn't to blame. Her father had abused her terribly after her mother's death, treating her like an animal, calling her a jinx, and feeding her false stories of his heroism. The general manager then asked, "The case 109 bomber Tsutomu claimed to have killed, he was your father, wasn't he?" Masatoshi confirmed, "Yes. I gave Yuzuki the bomb because I wanted revenge on her father for falsely claiming he killed my father and saved the bullet train. He mocked my father's suicide and received praise and medals for it." The commander was about to give the final stop command when the general manager arrived. He had learned from Masatoshi which coaches still had bombs. A new idea struck the commander. They would switch the moving train to another track. When half the train, the bombed section, was on the new track, they would switch back. This would cause the front engine part to detach, move forward, and crash. The two rear carriages, which were bomb free, would remain and all passengers could move into them. This seemed plausible at 120 km as the carriages were more likely to separate, but it was extremely dangerous. The minister found it impossible, but with no other options, he gave permission. The commander relayed the plan to the train. Passengers collected mattresses and soft items in the rear carriages. The conductor told the driver to activate the automatic train control and come with them. At the planned accident site, arrangements were made to minimize impact. Everyone moved to the last carriage, including Yuzuki, brought by her teacher. They all tied themselves with ropes. At a halt, engineers prepared to operate the track switch. All eyes were on the monitors. As the train approached, they switched the track north. When the bombed half of the train was on the alternate track, they quickly switched back. A middle carriage scraped between the two sections, then detached from the front, causing an accident. The engine section, once separated, automatically braked and then exploded. The rear carriages with the passengers scraped along the track and had a severe crash, hitting the prepared water walls. After such a massive accident, survival chances seemed slim. The rescue team heard no voices. But when they cut into the wreckage, everyone inside was safe. The commander was immensely relieved. He ordered the tracks to be fixed and services resumed. Fuji was hospitalized. An investigation officer took Yuzuki. He showed her the writer's website, where people had donated 100 billion yen. "The world isn't as bad as you think," he told her. The conductor was overjoyed to see all his passengers alive, and they all praised him. And with that, the movie ends. So, friends, how did you like this story? Let me know in the comments.